like to welcome everybody. This is our 6th annual recital, and we did skip a year last year, but I promise I won't do that again, so next year there'll be another one at this time. I'm tired just from walking up the stairs, so excuse me. I'd like to thank you all for coming. It means a great deal to me to have you here today. And we have a lot of fun music ready, and I hope you'll enjoy it. I would like to thank Pastor Hunt and all the people who helped downstairs to do refreshments and get things ready today. Chuck Slifer and Paul Beard for bringing in the Clavinova here, and my mother who always helps out. And I have some special things to share today. And I always let you know how I've been doing, because over the years you've all supported me when I've been in the hospital and always ask how I'm doing. And I would like to tell everybody that I'm probably the healthiest I've been in 15 years. So I think that's a great reason to rejoice. And I'm very happy about that. And I feel very lucky and very blessed to be able to stand up here today and do this recital. I'm also teaching, and I just started doing that again 2 years ago. I have private students out of Sterling and Polo, and I enjoy it very much. They bring me a great deal of joy, and they are here today also helping out, and I'd like to thank them for that. The first piece that I'm going to do today is How Great Thou Art. And, it is in memory of my grandma, Bessie Moore, and she died last Saturday. She was 94 years old. And my grandmother was one of the smartest, wisest, strongest people you'd ever meet. And the one thing she would want me to say in her honor today is the one thing she tried to teach everybody, and that is that God is good. And when it's your time to go, He's going to be there. And I know that at her funeral last Saturday, when we played How Great Thou Art, that she was dancing up in heaven saying, I told you how nice it was going to be. So in her honor, I'd like to ask you to think about that today. The other thing I wanted to share with you was a little story about my grandmother. Anyone who knew my grandma knew that she was very compassionate and very kind, but she also had a very strange sense of humor. And we often shared stories and laughed about silly things, and sometimes we got our wires crossed, and I'd be talking about one thing, and she'd be talking about another. And one summer, my Aunt Catherine passed away, and she was living in the nursing home outside of Madison. And I didn't realize that my grandmother never got the message that my aunt had passed away, because she was out of town at the time. So we were driving home from Madison, and as we're heading out of town by the old nursing home where my Aunt Catherine had been, my grandmother says to me, well, Amy, she said, I wonder what they're going to do with your Aunt Catherine. Now remember, I don't know that she doesn't realize Aunt Catherine is dead. I think she realized that she died. And I'm stunned because I don't know what she means by this. And I said, well, what do you mean? What are they going to do with Aunt Catherine? And she said, well, they're going to have to move all those people out of there. And now I'm thinking, why would they dig up a cemetery to move people? And again I said, Grandma, who's going to move them out of there? And she said, well, they're going to build condos there. And now I'm thinking, oh my Lord, they're digging up dead bodies and building condos over a cemetery? And finally it dawned on me that possibly my grandmother didn't get the message. And I said, Grandma, Aunt Catherine passed away. And she said, she did? And she caught so fast, and she laughed so hard, and she said, oh my gosh, Amy, she said, what did you think? And I said, Grandma, I thought you lost your marbles. And to this day, whenever I visit my grandma, the first thing she brings up is that story. And that's the kind of person she was. She was very vibrant, and she knew what she was talking about till her dying day. And she was a very big part of my life. And she taught me a great deal about faith and sat by my bedside many, many times. When she was in her 80s, she would sit in my room all day with me and I'm so grateful to her for that. And in her memory, I would like to play How Great Thou Art, and I know she is here today in spirit, and I know she is so happy right now. I love you, Grandma. I think when the organ finally popped out there, Grandma must have been jumping in on that song. Actually, being a musician is very humbling, and it's nice to have little things happen that can kind of make you laugh and put you at ease. I would like to let you know that back in May, I ordered a new flute, which I said, what they told me I would receive in July. And my grandmother was waiting for me to play it for her. And it didn't come in August, and it didn't come in September or October. And unfortunately, it came 1 week after her death. But I played that first song on my new flute just for my grandma, so she would be the first one to hear it. And I am very happy to have my new flute. It took 6 months to get it. But getting it yesterday was just a little bit nerve-wracking, but once I started playing it and realized how nice it was, I got over that real quick. So we'll continue with the recital. Just sit back and enjoy. We plan to. Thanks. You'll have to excuse me. I got so excited that we were done that I realized that we weren't done. There's another movement to that. So I apologize. Thank you for bearing with me. You can't tell I'm nervous today, right? Actually, that was planned. I was trying to get out of playing that last movement because it was the hardest one. The next piece is a Bach sonata, and Christine brought her clavinova with her, and I really don't know all the wonderful things that it does, but one of the very nice things that it does is it gets a harpsichord sound. And since most of Bach's music was played with harpsichord, we're able to use this today. And also, while I was standing here, I would like to acknowledge Christine Homer, who is not just an accompanist, she is my partner in crime. And we've done many recitals together, and I enjoy her company so very much, and she has become a very good friend to me. And I thank her for indulging my mood swings over the last few weeks, as well as my boyfriend and my mother. My boyfriend made some statement last night with the moods I've been in that he was waiting for an alien to pop out of my chest at any time. And he's at least laughing at me, so I appreciate that. But I do thank you, Christine, very much. And I think she deserves a round of applause for herself. Thank you. Before we do the last piece, the Lord's Prayer, I would like to thank everybody again for coming, and there will be refreshments downstairs immediately following. If you can't stay for refreshments, please come forward and at least let me say hi to you before you go, so I can acknowledge you personally. And before I play the Lord's Prayer, I just want to say that I know I'm alive today, and I'm here by the grace of God. And that is what has always held me up and kept me going, along with the love of my mother and father and my friends. And there is a special thank you in there to my mom and to my boyfriend Paul. And they have both been so good to me and have helped me through so many difficult times. And I love them very much, and I thank them for being here also. And I hope everyone had a nice time. We had a good time today, and Christine and I have been very busy. She's been moving, and her moving day came the same week as our recital. So things have been a little hectic, so this was a nice way to take an hour out of our day. So thank you for coming. Thank you once again, and I'd just like to say that I know at least somebody was relaxed during this program because this little boy was just up here having a good time. So thank you for coming, and I'll meet you downstairs and talk to some of you down there. Thanks, bye.